Yes.
Thank you all so much for
everyone mute.
assisting us tonight. All right, everyone. Welcome to Vote the Change, our voter empowerment series. We are so excited to join you this evening on Kansas Interfaith Action's Facebook page and St. Mark United Methodist Church's YouTube page. I want to thank you all for tuning in, taking some time to join us this evening to talk about something that's very important, not only in this election, but historically, just talking about voter engagement, voter empowerment. What tools, resources, and access do we have to more equitable voting here in the state of Kansas? My name is Marty Hillard. I will be your host tonight. I am a member of Kansas Interfaith Action's Racial Justice Working Group. Sorry, it's been a long day. I apologize, but a very proud member of Kansas Interfaith Action's Racial Justice Working Group. We've come together to continue to put events and information out there so that you can feel more empowered and engaged in what your rights are, particularly with voting through this election season. By Kansas Interfaith Action, as well as St. Mark United Methodist Church in Wichita and the Greater Wichita Ministerial League. So we thank them for their stewardship and their sponsorship and allowing us to walk with them in this wonderful work. I wanted to let you know that this is indeed an event series. So stay tuned over the next couple of Thursday evenings. On October 22nd and October 29th, we will have additional Vote the Change online events. So make sure you tune in to Kansas Interfaith Action's Facebook page and to St. Mark United Methodist Church's YouTube page to continue to follow us. We'll have a rotating host, have rotating musicians, guest speakers, and then we'll have elders wrap up each event. What I'd like to do now is just take a moment to invite you, if you are watching this on Facebook, to share this, to host watch parties, invite your family and friends to join us. If you're watching, you share that link as well. Please spread it around because we'd like to get as many eyes and ears as possible on our event series to make sure that folks feel empowered and know their rights regard voting in this election season. What I'd like to go ahead and do, just jumping right in, is to introduce our guests tonight. To start from the top, go to the bottom, and then we'll have our first musical performance this evening. So starting with Kadesh Flo, he is a rapper from the Kansas City area with an MBA. Trombone, he's also a saying, and a Billboard charting recording artist, and incredible live performer. Well, so I'm so excited to have him here. Our next musician a little bit later on in the broadcast is Brother News. He's a recording artist and educator, a father, and a famed martial artist from the Kansas City area. Really excited to have him join us. And then also our guest speakers, we've got Miss Nicole Lee. She joined the ACLU of Kansas in January of 2020 as a Central and Western Kansas field organizer. She has extensive experience educating and training people who served and underprivileged communities. Miss Jondelyn Marshall, she's been with the Seed House in Wichita, Kansas for 3 years, where she's director of administration and the program manager for Root the Power. In her work with young people, she is able to help them discover their voice and their importance in the community through civic engagement. And then our elder speaker to wrap it up this evening, Reverend Robert Johnson. He is a board member of Kansas, as well as Reverend of St. Mark United Methodist Church. So just thank all of you for joining us tonight, being a part of this broadcast. Really excited to get started, share some great information, share some great talent, and some important words with our viewership this evening. So with that said, I'm going to go ahead and mute myself and allow Kadesh Flo to start his performance. Enjoy.
Thank you, Marty, and thanks to Kifa for having me. I know we're on a schedule. So this is Glassy Eyes. This is a song about overcoming discriminatory and racially biased viewpoints to get to an elevated position. It's called Glassy Eyes, and it's saying that we have glassy eyes because we're in awe that we are where we are, but we have to acknowledge that we broke a glass ceiling to get there. Let's get into it. Yeah. Look. Living this life is amazing. Rather we feel it so wavy. Hey. Living this life is amazing. Rather we feel it so wavy. Yeah. Hey. Living this life is amazing. Rather we feel it so wavy. I am not here to be average. Every beat I touch is rapid. My ambition is massive. I am not here to be passive. I am not here for you has-been. This is my chance to go grab this. KF for the logo. Distractions a no-go. Distractions OG on the ones I'm rolling solo. She been feeding for that good. We're acting like I'm Miyamoto. I ignore it, keep it moving. Look, not trying to be cold, yo. I'm way too focused on the next move. Loyalty, my lady's holding me down. I'm here to bring the get to the attention to whatever till they get the groove. Here's the situation, let's review. It used to be that we were not included in these places, conversations, the movements, hesitation, booking us to a where we lose it. No insight, 12 rappers, I was lacking safety. Can I say we're making every matter racist when we talk about the jury? It's a different demonstrator, not a matter race. So we out here so people know we have a place here. After this panel, we be testifying. Bring us up to see you get the volume. Hit the shows and you can't deny it. After when mama brought this nigga out here, Papa's denying his place. Hurry up, I'm in so we can reason out what we've been trying to say. There's a color being missing from y'all conversations. Though we've been renting that concept, you make it. Pull up and we make our statements. We're here to stay and look. Living this life is amazing. Loving we feeling so wavy. Hey. Living this life is amazing. Loving we feeling so wavy. Hey, living this life is amazing. Loving we feeling so wavy. I am not here to be average. Every beat I touch is ravage. Look, my ambition is massive. I am not here to be passive. I am not here for you has-beens. This is my chance to go grab this. We got glassy eyes, but we broke that glass ceiling. We got glassy eyes, but we broke that glass ceiling. We got glassy eyes, but we broke that glass ceiling. We got glassy eyes, but we broke that glass ceiling. If you feel this song was glassy eyes, comment. If you feel this song was glassy eyes in the comments, we got glassy eyes, but we broke that glass ceiling. And if you feeling this was glassy eyes in the comments, see. No clue how this generated. Broke through trying to interfaces and expose you to my entertainment. Different ain't it? Interested what filling your ears to my substance do. You were chilling now, you let that shit to that mind frame and you're hungry too. So let's eat together. They get scared when they see perfection. Talk about the feeling cause you piece the record and shut on the energy to figure out a way to get the beat the effort. But I'm just starving. Should've found a way to try to feed me breakfast. Such a dinner if you willing. Every beat I got a kid, I got a dinner, go a feeling. I don't need your hex, man. Think I got hands on beat to wreck this. The last time was a media reference. All the allies, I believe the message. To pursue every lead to the truth and method. To the outpace me, be the least impressive. You know, I was up for everywhere. I live up the creators so wherever they could be a weapon. I don't know my lyrics, I'm to test them. Check your faces just to keep you guessing. What do you think you can do to me? I'm my own enemy. You'll hit to knuckle. I work like I'm built up. Me as a unity. They keep on asking how do I keep moving with all that I'm doing. I beat the community. One of the game. Apologies if you pursue me. Tell them I'm coming for it. Living this life is amazing. Robin, we feeling so wavy. Hey, 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 hey. Living this life is amazing. Robin, we feeling so wavy. Hey, 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 hey. Living this life is amazing. Robin, we feeling so wavy. I am not here to be average. Every beat I touch is rabid. Look, my ambition is massive. I am not here to be passive. I am not here for you hazards. This is my chance to go round. This we got glassy eyes. We broke that glass ceiling. We got glassy eyes, but we broke that glass ceiling. We got glassy eyes, but we broke that glass ceiling. We got glassy eyes, but we broke that glass ceiling. We got glassy eyes, but we broke that glass ceiling. If you feel this all the glassy eyes in the comments, if you overcome, put glassy eyes in the comments. We got glassy eyes, but we broke that glass ceiling. Please vote. Thank you. Dash Flow.
Excellent. Sorry, I was trying to get unmuted. Thank you so much, Kadesh Flow, for joining us tonight again. Next performing is trombonist, fantastic rapper, writer, songsmith, based in the Kansas City area. What we'll do now is move on to our discussion between Nicole Lee and Jondelyn Marshall. They have a few talking points to go over, but they can also information about just how they've worked with regard to voter engagement and voter empowerment in the Wichita area. So I'll let them take it away. Thank you.
Hello. Let's see. Hi, everyone. My name is Jondelyn Marshall, and I am the program manager for Root the Power, one of the directors at the Seed House. And I guess I'm going to be joined with Nicole, and if not, Marty, can you kind of do the discussion?
Jondelyn, I'm here. I'm sorry, my phone keeps messing up, so you have to forgive me with my technology today, but I am here.
Oh, Nicole.
Yes.
Hi.
Hey, I'm so happy to be here, and I just absolutely enjoyed the artist that was performing. That was amazing.
Yes.
And that last note that he left on, he said vote, period.
I know.
And that is what we need to do and get out. Yes. Definitely. I'm so excited to just be able to share with people some of the importance.
I know. Can you believe it's only like 19 days until the actual election? 19 days.
Oh my gosh.
Yes,
19.
yes. And of course, we just wrapped up voter registration, right, on Tuesday, which we've been working so hard all month, right, on the voter registration.
Especially getting people to get in those mail-in ballots. I mean, it seems like, this year voter registration looks so different because not only are we trying to get people registered, but now we have another layer of questions. Have you applied for your mail-in ballot yet? Do you need me to show you how to do it? And I think it's so cool that we're able to kind of fix some of the things that we've seen happen over time, where if there's not a signature on the outside of the ballot, sometimes they just throw those ballots out and they don't count. So at least these mail-in ballots give us an opportunity to kind of educate people about how this thing is actually done. And so I've been loving it.
Yes. And they actually started mailing out the advanced ballots yesterday, right? So registration closed Tuesday, and then advanced ballots started being mailed out as of yesterday. And so as if you are not, if you don't know how to do it, you can definitely log on to ksvotes.org, correct?
Right.
Approximately how long does it take, Nicole, to actually get on there and request a ballot?
Honestly, it takes 5 minutes, like less than 5 minutes, actually, probably less than this conversation we're having. It's super simple and super easy. I mean, ksvotes.org, and they're going to take care of everything. It's as simple as putting in your address, and they're going to walk you through every single step. Now, I do know that we've got to get those mail-in ballots in as quickly as we can. So if you request one, it's super important to go ahead and fill it out and send it.
Right,
And it's best to send it out about a week before the
right.
election, so we don't have too much time.
No, we don't. I mean, they're recommending that you get it in at least a week before the election, right? So approximately like,
Yeah.
I would say by October 27th, try to get it in before then.
Yeah.
And the last day to request a ballot is October 25th. So please do not hesitate. Get on there right away. Like she stated, it takes less than 5 minutes. We do not, and I have to say, the reason why I'm pushing for everyone to get those requests in ASAP is because I lagged a little bit and I didn't get my ballot until the date of the primary election. And so I tried to go to my polling place, right? And they were like, no, you requested a mail-in ballot. And so basically, once you request that ballot, you are expected to use it, right? Now, we're not
Right.
saying that you don't have very many options to get that ballot in, right? So some ways that you can, after you get your ballot and you fill it out, Nicole, do you have some ways that they can get that ballot turned back in?
Absolutely. I mean, I think one of the coolest things this year is the ballot drop boxes, and they're actually conveniently located
Yes.
in several different areas and communities. So there are several ways that we can make sure that we get those ballots in. And this year looks so different than any year before. So I mean, we just don't even know what to expect. So get the ballots in as soon as possible, any way you can.
Right. Right. And let me tell you, I was fortunate enough to be able to go back home and my ballot was in my mailbox. And guess what? I was able to hand deliver it to my polling place, which you can do that, right? As long as it's in your county, you can hand deliver your ballot to a polling site. You can also drop it in at the Central County Election Office as well, mail it back. And like you said, make sure that you can drop it in a secure ballot box as well. So they make it pretty convenient for you.
Awesome. Well, we definitely want to be respectful of time. I don't know how much we have, but I've enjoyed just sitting here and being able to kind of talk about some of this and make sure that everyone knows all the steps that they need to be able to mail in ballot or
Right.
to
We have
apply for
one
their mail in ballot
question.
or send it.
Before we get out here, we'll just do a quick question. Someone was asking, like, is there any advice or perspective on how we can help those who may not feel comfortable registering using technology website? I mean, I think you can go down to the Central County election office and request a mail-in ballot that way. If you
I'm
don't
gonna
want to.
suggest, yeah, and right now registration has closed for this year, but I mean, if you hand deliver it to the elections office, it's just as good.
Right. Or if you don't feel comfortable actually requesting a mail-in ballot via online or, technology wise, you can go down to the Central County election office and request a ballot in person as well.
Absolutely. Well,
So,
thanks so much, Jonathan, for taking this
yes.
time with me. I appreciate you.
Same here, Nicole. And as we had stated, they asked about some efforts that we have that's coming up as well. This Saturday, we have the Empower the Vote event that's going to be at the Urban League and at the center. And so just come visit us, come check us out.
Yeah, absolutely. It's going to be so much fun. We want to make sure we're giving everyone those next steps after registration. So now that registration's over, now that we got our mail-in ballots, what do we do? So come on out to Urban League or the center on Saturday, 17th, and we're going to give you all those next steps to make sure that every Kansans vote counts.
Yes.
And
Vote.
I'm
Go
one
vote.
lady.
What do you say?
You all are doing
Vote.
such an awesome job, and Marty Hillard is our MC for today. But I like for you. I just want to share this quick graphic with our folks, and you'll be able to find this graphic on the Kiefer Facebook page. We'll post it on the St. Mark United Methodist Church page. We'll also post it on the Greater Wichita Ministerial League page, who's, by the way, one of our co-hosts for tonight. So let me attempt a screen share here. And we'll see how that goes. Hopefully you all can see that, but I also want you to see that. Okay. And so that's just a graphic. Voting by mail 101, vote the change. And then it just has some steps. Request a mail ballot at ksvotes.org. Receive and complete your mail ballot. Return your mail ballot due or on before election day. Confirm the election office confirm that they received your ballot. Follow through. If you request a mail ballot, please use it. Kansas has had voting by mail for over 20 years. It is safe and secure. So that's for all those folks. I know there's been a lot of fear that's been passed around about voting by mail. And so we just want to let folks know that it's safe and there's a way to do that. We will post that information on the Kiefer page, on the St. Mark page, and on the Greater Wichita Ministerial League page. And so folks can go there. Tondalyn and Nicole, you all have done an awesome job. I'm going to shut up and turn things back over to our host for the night, Marty.
Thank you.
Thanks for having us. We appreciate being here.
Vote,
and Marty,
everybody.
you're the best.
Vote.
Thanks.
Yes, I want to thank Ms. Nicole Lee again of ACLU of Kansas and Ms. Jondalyn Marshall of the Seed House in Wichita, Kansas for joining us, talking a little bit more about what options we have now that we're registered to vote, what the next steps are to make sure our vote is counted properly. I want to thank Reverend Robert Johnson of St. Mark United Methodist Church also for taking a moment to share that infographic. Again, it will be available on Kansas Interfaith Action's Facebook page following this broadcast. We will continue to share some really informative infographics in the weeks to come. Remember that we do have 2 more events. This is an event series happening every Thursday, also on the 22nd and 29th of October from 7 to 7:30 p.m. We'll have more great guest speakers, more musicians, more elder speakers, and some different hosts as well. So again, thank you all for tuning in. If you are watching from Facebook or YouTube, please make sure that you share this with your family and friends. Get this out as widely as possible. We want to make sure that everyone here in the state of Kansas has the information that they need to feel empowered to be a part of the voting process. With that said, I would like to introduce our next musical guest. He has a really wonderful album available on all streaming services called American Fiction, a Movie. It came out in 2019. I was a big fan of it, and I'm also a big fan of this brother as well. He is a recording artist, an educator, a father, and a noted martial artist based in the Kansas City area. His name is Brother News, and I would like to welcome him to begin his performance.
All right. So appreciative of being here. It's blessed to have this opportunity. And I'm going to just call out the fact that I've been waiting to try to get a feature from Marty forever. So this is like a not a fanboy moment, but I'll take it what it is. All right. This piece is called Resolve. It's off of a project I did with Conductor Williams back in 2018 called 1115. I'm going to actually do it a cappella, spoken word style, and I hope that you enjoy it. And it was all bad just a day ago. Stephen Clark was in a body bag for holding phones. Want to criticize our slang and our pants sag. F a Grammy, they would rather give us hashtags. The cops will kill us then collect bags. Gentrify entire neighborhoods with coffee bags. Been lynching us willies since way back in the past. So I ask who's teaching us willies when we ain't got no dads. And concrete jungle gyms never came with pads, probably while we sagging our shorts so we can hide the scabs. Cops can try to cover what's hidden behind the pointed mask. Fox ain't cover Black Lives Matter, they rather see us gagged. Ain't have a walkout for Tamir Rice. Probably make a day of mourning if Tamir white. Mama told me if I pray that my career bright, unless you praying at a church in Dylan Roof's site. And we ain't get a hand from Daddy Warbucks. Get the plumber still evicted out of Starbucks. Kanye can tell the masses that it was a choice. Nat Turner tried to fight it, got his life snuffed. Colin K magnified it, got career tucked. Filled another plantation, this nation. Let them lock our bodies, then they bury under litigation. TV trapping minds, now attention come with hesitation. Family pay no mind, so they play them off in registration. Leave our kids behind, that's their motivation. Peep equation, give us lots of guns and liquor daily participation. Churches in our malls for worship and consumerization. Peep, I ain't rapping with a niche, trying to raise my niece. Daughters going Ivy League or in Spelman seats. Ain't gonna keep us from the feds because they banging cleats. Ain't gonna elevate their minds just from banging beats. They grew an apple tree with hanging feet, some strange fruit and remains you can barely eat. Ain't gonna be no reparations, build your own relief. No one cried at Joe Janaza, we was born to grief. No seat at the table, so we rarely eat. Cranes was in the sky, but we on our feet. They slanging on the corner like Muhammad speaks, then they give it all away when Muhammad speaks. Trade their caps for bow ties and some pies with bean. Got some thoughts on Farrakhan, but that's off the beat. It's easy acting like you hard when you carry heat. Piece about your hand, now you under sheets. Colonizers hid under pointed sheets. 99 to 5 in appointed seats. Clocking right outside where the homies greet. Try to stack the odds, but we know defeat. Coming from scars, hangings, and tattered feet. Threw us out the stars, we land on our feet. More than spitting bars about them homies reaped. I'm about raising bar counters where we eat. Sit-ems at them bar counters ain't relief. Marches against the counter ain't gonna change beliefs. Only chasing highs, but that vibe's brief. We need the cover vibe and the Wall Street. Ebony is fine, giving global reach. Voice of Kofi Annan, let him rest in peace. Peace. I'm Brother News. And yeah, get out and vote.
Again, that was Brother News. Wonderful recording artist, educator, father, and martial artist from the Kansas City area. Brother, thank you so much for coming and sharing your talents with us. Don't worry, I got you on the feature. As you know, my friends and I have a new album coming out, so we've been hard at work at getting that out into the world. But I'm so appreciative of you and Kadesh for coming and lending your talents. One thing that I feel really encouraged by as a member of Kansas Interfaith Action's Racial Justice Working Group is that so much of it is rooted in communities right here in the state of Kansas, that we are a conglomerate of people who've come together to work on racial justice issues that are happening right in our backyards, in the neighborhoods that we live in, that we know, that we've been a part of for a very long time. So it's such an honor to be a part of this work and to be able to pull in all these other wonderful segments of our communities to share their talents with us. So with that said, we're running short on time, but I did want to acknowledge our elder speaker, Reverend Robert Johnson. Again, he is a board member of Kansas Interfaith Action, as well as Reverend of St. Mark United Methodist Church in Wichita. I did want to personally thank him and Rabbi Moti Reber for their stewardship and guidance in bringing all of us together to be able to do this work. So I'll go ahead and pass it off to Reverend and allow him to have the final word, and then we'll close it out. Thank you all. Reverend, you're muted.
All right, that's the first sign that I'm the senior person on the team tonight. But thank you, Marty. You've done such an awesome job. All the artists, Kadesh, Brother News, awesome job. Enjoyed your stuff. Look forward to connecting with you all. John Dylan and Nicole, thank you so much. And then I want to thank Marty for leading this team, leading this effort, and Alexis Scott, our young adult board member, who's been a key part of making this happen. You've seen her comments here tonight. I just want to take a few minutes and just want to encourage every person who's listening, please get out and vote. We've said it over and over again. I want to say this to you, that this is the most important election of our lifetime. And to be honest, this election is really far bigger than any of the normal issues that we typically fight about as Kansans and Americans, because this election is about whether our democracy will survive. Our democracy is on life support. And if it doesn't survive, there will be no chance for health care. There will be no chance for better schools. There will be no chance to make our neighborhoods and schools better. There will be no chance to improve police practices. If our democracy doesn't survive, there will be no chance to address issues of abortion and homelessness and whatever the issues may be that concern you. In order to have the freedom to influence policy and to make our democracy better, we've got to elect some politicians who believe in a free democracy, and that we need to elect them into office, put them in office so that they will work for us and not just for themselves. Furthermore, I want to remind, just make you aware and just make you conscious to the fact that our democracy is at stake because of the profound and growing divisions in our state and our country right now. One historian has noted that America is as divided today as it was at the start of the Civil War. Another person who was an adult who lived through the Civil Rights Movement said that these times feel more polemical and more hateful than even the 60s felt. And so disagreement is a pillar of our democracy, but that disagreement becomes lethal and destructive when we are so divided that we are no longer willing to fight for unity and to fight for a shared vision. So we've got to get folks in who believe in democracy. We've got to get folks in who will not exploit our disagreements, who will not exploit our divisions, but will work to bring us together. And that begins by electing the right people to office. We must elect officials who will show courage, compassion, and moral conviction on behalf of all Americans and all Kansans. We must elect officials who want to protect our democratic republic and who want to protect the rights of every Kansan and every American to vote, to protest peacefully, to engage, to voice dissent, and to participate in full citizens in this democracy. And I want to say this is the last thing, and then I'm done, Marty, as I want to say to all the young adults, I know so many of you all feel like your vote doesn't count. Your vote counts. Non-voters make up the largest voting bloc in America. In 2016, Hillary Clinton had 28% of the vote. Trump had 27%. The largest voting bloc were non-voters. They made up 43%. So, and of that 43%, these are people who need better schools. These are people who need health care. These are people who need protection from police brutality. So if we can get more of that 43% across the nation and here in Kansas to the polls and get them voting, then we can really begin to make a difference. And then this will not only be the most important election of our lifetime, but it would be the most transformative, the most revolutionary, and the most positively impactful election in our lifetime. May it be so. Get to the polls and let's vote the change. Marty, I give it back to you, sir.
Yes, sir. Thank you so much, Reverend, for bringing it home for us, making us realize the importance of voting. One thing that I do know is that a part of my family legacy is having aunts and uncles, grandmothers, grandparents, extended family members in the state of Mississippi who continue to advance civil rights and be a part of the process for so many of us, for me and my cousins and for our children and for our future. That's one thing I just want to extend some gratitude toward is my family for their own walk in creating a legacy of justice and civil rights in our bloodline. That's something that I carry with me into this work. Again, just really grateful to be a part of Kansas Interfaith Action's Racial Justice Working Group. I do want to thank our sponsors yet again, Kansas Interfaith Action, St. Mark United Methodist Church, and the Greater Wichita Ministerial League for providing us with this platform, with this opportunity to be able to talk to you about why voting matters, especially here in the state of Kansas and in our shared communities. I want to take a moment to thank all of our guests, Kadesh Flo and Brother News, both from the Kansas City area, phenomenal MCs, songsmiths, and artists. I want to thank Miss Nicole Lee of the ACLU of Kansas and Miss John Dolan Marshall of the Seed House in Wichita for providing us with insight about how to make sure our vote is counted. Again, I want to take a moment to thank Reverend Robert Johnson of St. Mark United Methodist Church for his guidance, for his stewardship, and for his powerful words. May they resonate not only across this event and this evening, but into our next two events. Again, we will be broadcasting live on Thursday, October 22nd, as well as Thursday, October 29th, both at 7 p.m. You can find us at Kansas Interfaith Action's Facebook page. You can also find us at St. Mark United Methodist Church's YouTube page. Again, I want to thank everyone behind the scenes, everyone who's a part of our racial justice working group for coming together and helping us move forward in this work. Just really grateful to you all for tuning in. Make sure you help us spread the information. Tune in next week and the week after. We're looking forward to having more great conversations. Thank you all. Have a great evening.